These are the 1977 West Virginia Mountaineers. Young, talented, determined. A team patiently assembled, built with young men of superior dedication and a strength resembling the towering mountains of the state they represent. Most valuable player Tommy Pridemore typified the spirit and persistence that were trademarks of a team whose early season prospects were dimmed by injury, whose character rejected the very thought of quitting. A football club that overcame disappointment and struck back proudly. This was a Golden Blue team whose sacrifice and toil, whose youth and enthusiasm laid the cornerstone for future success. This was a team with a future. Frank Signetti's 1977 West Virginia Mountaineers displayed their zest for the game in an early season upset of the Maryland Terrapins at College Park. A fired-up defense swarmed over quarterback Larry Dick and made a first-half shambles of Maryland's potentially explosive offense. After losing wide receiver Steve Lewis for the season on the game's sixth play, quarterback Dan Kendra adjusted and struck with passes to tight end Randy Swinson and Fleet sophomore wide receiver Cedric Thomas. Mountaineer offensive line provided a showcase for the open field running of Dave Riley, the team's leading ground gainer in '77. A record-breaking field goal by Bill McKenzie gave West Virginia a surprising 24-0 halftime lead. But it took an intentional safety and an exceptional defensive play by Tom Pridemore on the ensuing free kick to help preserve the victory. Frank Signetti watched pensively as his defense stopped Maryland 3 times inside the 4 before Harold Woods and Fran Gleason made this game-winning effort at the 1. Their response to second-half adversity gave the Mountaineers a treasured victory and nationwide attention. During the 1977 season, Coach Signetti often spoke of senior leadership. It was an area where a number of Mountaineers played distinguished roles. Tailback Dave Riley, a powerful, constant threat, accounted for nearly 800 all-purpose running yards. Quarterback Dan Kendra set an all-time WVU career passing record in '77. 25 of his completions were to tight end Randy Swinson. A big, tough, clutch receiver, Swinson totaled 357 hard-earned yards. a 3-year starter, Kendra threw for nearly 4,800 yards. Aside from his record-breaking passing, the cool blonde could improvise on occasion. And sometimes he enjoyed doing his thing as a runner, often getting rave notices. And the Mountaineer defense had its share of senior leadership. Men such as number 45, Lester Johnson, defensive tackle, and number 51, Fran Gleason, a defensive end. And don't forget number 15, Kevin Berkey, a hard-hitting safety. From the left corner came Harold Woods, number 1 in your program and many times number 1 on the tackle. But more often than not, the big play was made by number 22, free safety Tom Pridemore, a demon on the blitz, a nemesis on the deep pass. And as you see again, an unstoppable force on this 100-yard return of an interception against nationally ranked Penn State. All told, Pridemore broke 9 potential tackles in perhaps the nation's most spectacular defensive play of the year. The incredible excitement of Mountaineer Football 77 included the performances of many outstanding young players who will form the nucleus of this West Virginia team with a future. Enthusiasm and desire will be a legacy handed down to these undergraduates for the challenging season to come. A top candidate for the all-important quarterback position will be sophomore Dutch Hoffman, a talented passer. The race for that assignment no longer includes scrambling Danny Williams, a distinguished student athlete who will forego his senior year at West Virginia University to attend Oxford University in England as the recipient of a Rhodes Scholarship. The Mountaineer football program thus loses an outstanding senior, but the state of West Virginia gains a superb representative overseas. A veteran who is returning for his senior season, Rich Duggan has performed at more positions than any other Mountaineer player. Before settling in as a wide receiver, he played quarterback, tight end, defensive back, and was a punter. Duggan's versatility will be a definite asset in the year to come. You may recall he stepped in following an injury to wide receiver Steve Lewis, who was knocked out of action for the season on this reception against Maryland. Lewis is a bona fide All-American candidate for 1978. But that's only part of the good news. The Mountaineers' long bomb threat is back for his junior year. Cedric Thomas, as a sophomore, caught 37 passes for 699 yards and 8 touchdowns. Now with the return of Lewis, Thomas will have some of the defensive pressure removed from his young shoulders, allowing him to take full advantage of the speed that has added an exciting dimension to the West Virginia attack. The running game will include the elusive sophomore, Robert Alexander. In spite of an injury-plagued first season, Alexander rushed for 426 yards. Robert Alexander gives West Virginia's offense yet another explosive element. And And if it's power running you enjoy, look in the direction of Walter Easley. Back for his junior year, the bruising ball carrier has already gained nearly 1,000 yards in his career and has scored 11 touchdowns, running over the top of or around the opposition. In 1978, as in 1977, the Mountaineer defense will revolve around middle guard Joe Jellick, number 65. Jellick pursues like a cat and hits like a tank. Other returning defensive stalwarts include lineman Robin Mealy, number 82, and Doc Holliday, number 56, along with number 58, Bob Tomko, a linebacker. Defensive tackle Alan Pasula, number 71. And there's Delbert Fowler, number 95, back for the second season of a career that promises stardom. In the secondary, there was number 11, Jody McCown. And number 40, Fulton Walker, one of the finest young athletes on the team. And John LaSavage, who ended the Maryland game with this play. Number 55 will be a senior in 1978, a hard-nosed redhead who was born in Cleveland where his dad played for the Browns. Jeff Massarelli is a defensive cornerstone, a smart, rugged competitor, a serious student. On the field, he plays with intensity and abandon. Off the field, Massarelli articulates his confidence in the Mountaineer linebacking core for the coming season.
I definitely think that on defense, it's a matter of depth at linebacker that makes that position probably stronger than any other that we have, because we have a lot of playing time at that position, you know, with myself and, well, Ken Braswell will be back, along with Bobby Tomko and Bobby Oakes and Billy McLee and you know a few other guys. But I think that is, you know, probably the strongest point as far as I'm talking about playing time is concerned.
Injured in 1977, Ken Braswell returns to an already confident defense.
Well, as far as the team is concerned, we're going to a bowl. As far as I'm concerned, I talked to a lot of the players. We're starting to hit the irons already, and everybody seems to be real motivated, and we're going out to get a bowl.
Playing perhaps the toughest intersectional schedule in the nation next year, West Virginia faces encounters with Oklahoma, California, North Carolina State, Colorado State, Pitt, and Penn State, along with several traditional rivals. Head coach Frank Signetti and the Mountaineers understand the challenge.
I think our football players know what it takes to play at this level of competition. I know this past season was a great experience for our young men, and they know they're playing major college football at its best, and they know now what it takes to compete and win at this level of competition.
I look at our seasons next year as an opportunity for our team. You know, I think that we have the capabilities of beating anybody on our schedule, and I'm glad that we play the type of schedule that we do.
I know that the state of West Virginia has made a tremendous commitment to go out and improve and build new facilities here at West Virginia University, and these are the things that are going to make our program one of the great programs in the country.
A new 50,000-seat stadium to replace aging Mountaineer Field is part of the commitment that University President Gene Budig sees as a vital fixture for the future.
This institution very much needed a football structure which would accommodate significant numbers of people to allow us to be economically competitive with other institutions. The people of the state of West Virginia very much want to identify with a strong athletic program as well as a strong academic institution. An unusually high degree of people follow what happens on a Saturday afternoon, for example. Again, it's a very exciting potential we have, and it also gives us the opportunity to focus statewide attention on West Virginia University and its many and varied academic programs as well.
The 1977 Mountaineers were talented and determined. They were exciting and explosive. They were courageous. They carried on their backs the football ambitions of an entire state. This West Virginia team set the stage for the immediate future. Their dreams of yesterday will become the reality of tomorrow. Mountaineer football will soon be showcased in a brand new stadium. The Gritters will escape bad weather for workouts in a modern indoor facility. The enthusiasm generated in the year 1977 will be projected into the future by the young players returning from this squad. And that's not the end of the story. More young men will follow to carry on the gold and blue tradition against even more challenging schedules. 1977 has been a pivotal year. The cornerstone has been set. This was a team with a future.